everyone. Welcome to the Almost 30 podcast. It's Lindsey. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing to the pod. It has been almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. We've been doing this thing. It's been the most unexpected ride of our lives. It's been the most fulfilling. We've gotten to meet thousands of you all over the world and just really understand the impact of having very real, very honest, very curious conversations about life, about the transitions in life, about the changes in life, and how we can support ourselves the best way possible. So just a big thank you. And today's a solo episode. If you know the pod and are in the flow with us, you know that we do interviews with incredible guests, experts, teachers, spiritual guides with, just some of the world's coolest people who are researching and kind of leading the way on so many different topics. And then we have Krista and Lindsey solos, where we just go off on whatever we're feeling called to talk about. And those are always fun. Those happen on a monthly basis as well. And then we have solos of just me or just Krista. And these go even deeper into what we personally are interested in moving through and feel like we are well equipped to talk about here. So today's episode, I'm very excited about. It's one that I think some of the points might be a little controversial to some people and some might be comforting. So, take this as with anything, whatever hits and lands for you, great. Whatever doesn't, leave it. And then also, if anything feels like it's rubbing up against a part of you, because I've been there, I've listened to different people speak, experts, psychologists, etc. And sometimes they will share an inconvenient truth that, makes me feel a type of way. But knowing in my heart that it's true, I've had to really metabolize it, digest it, and understand the implications of why this truth is actually meant to make me a better person, a better parent, a better partner. So I'll just say that at the get, So let's get into it. I have been thinking about this episode for a while now, actually. I keep having these moments, usually at night when the house is finally quiet. Lately, it's been around 9:30 or 10 because I have been falling asleep, putting my son to sleep, and walking out in a daze. But in these moments where I'm thinking, wow, okay, nobody told me about this part, this part of parenting, this part of this experience. Everyone prepares you for the baby gear and the registry and the birth plan and the stroller research. And oh my God, it's going to be the most joyful thing ever. And all of that is helpful and true, but I think there's also another part of the truth of this experience that not a lot of people shared with me, at least. Maybe you have people sharing this with you, but no one really talks about what it feels like to become a parent, the emotional stuff, the identity shift, the weird grief and joy that's happening at the same time, a lot of the time. And lately I've been thinking if I could sit down with pre-mom Lindsey, soul cycle teaching, sleeping 8 hours, casually grabbing dinner at 8 p.m., doing my 2-hour morning routine and blah, 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 what would I tell her? I have always wanted to be a mom. So that has always been on my heart. I was waiting to find my person and just really feel like I was in a place to be able to bring a life into the world with a partner. And I feel like for me, my timing, though it wasn't what I planned, it was perfect. I got married at 33. We had our first child at 36. I was 36. And I feel like it was the perfect point in my evolution and where I'm at growth-wise and learning about myself and all the things. So I wish I could sit down with pre-mom Lindsey, not to scare her at all, but just to like give her a heads up, here's some things that are actually coming, and it might be hard to hear, but I think knowing that would actually prepare you even better for becoming a parent. So this is that episode, just things I genuinely wish I knew before becoming a parent. Okay, we ready? Let's do this. So number one, your capacity for discomfort is about to expand. It might explode. It's a lot. The first thing, and this one hit me really, really fast, is how uncomfortable motherhood is. I remember, I gave birth. I was so blessed to have a very fast birth. I intended to have an unmedicated birth. And so I really believe that Mav was like, okay, mommy, I'm going to help you. My water broke spontaneously at 37 weeks and 2 days. 7 hours later, he was in my arms. And that was amazing. And then I remember when kind of the adrenaline came down, like I kind of came down a little bit from just like the, oh my God, I just did that. And just the pure exhaustion of how physically taxing those 7 hours were hit me. I remember just saying to Sean, I don't know if I can do tonight. Like, I don't know if I can do tomorrow. Like, just how tired I was. Just how tired I was in that moment. And that was like the first of thousands of moments where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. And then you prove to yourself you can. And, there's kind of that pattern over and over, and you build the confidence and trust in yourself and knowing that even when your mind and even when parts of your physical body, you're like, I don't know if I can. You push a little more and you show up the best you can and you do make it. So I think number one, like discomfort I felt was being tired. You're tired a majority of the time. In those early months, you're up every 3 hours, you're feeding every 3 hours. So in those first few weeks, you're feeding every 3 hours. Your hormones are all over the place, kind of regulating, kind of not. Your milk is coming in. Your life has completely changed. Like everything about the day to day has changed. You have someone touching you all day. You haven't had a thought to yourself. You still have to show up calm and loving as best you can. There were nights with Mav where I was bouncing him, like rocking him at like 3 a.m., half asleep, half crying. It's just like it's a wild thing. I remember being like, I've never felt this before. I've never felt pushed to this type of limit. And I remember thinking like, how am I still functioning right now? And I remember thinking like the next day, like, how am I doing this today when last night was so crazy? And I think what helped me so much was learning this isn't like a personal failure of like, I shouldn't be this tired, or I should be able to do this, or I'm weak. This is a biological, very normal experience. So not only is it very normal that you're not sleeping a lot, your hormones help you in the beginning to kind of like feel a bit more alert, but that levels out and you get just really tired eventually. But also your brain literally rewires after you have a baby. You're more alert to things. You're more sensitive, more attuned. You're basically on watch 24/7. I remember like the sensitivity was exhausting to me. The intrusive thoughts that I would have about something hurting my baby or something happening, like I was exhausted by all of those sensations and those sensitivities. And it's something that I didn't really know. I didn't expect. I thought something was a little wrong with me. But I came to find out this is completely normal. And I think what would have helped me is just giving myself so much more grace. So if you feel fried, of course you do. If you're sitting there and you're just like, yeah, like I feel like I can't function. I can't take the next step. Of course you feel like that. And in those early months, especially, honestly, I'll say like the first year. Can I just say that? Because you're in the thick of it. I'm still in the thick of it, 2.5 years in, but I'll just say the first year, like we take it moment by moment so much of the time, moment by moment, because things are changing so rapidly. You have to be so attuned and present to your child. Like you can't plan like you used to plan. You can't control things like you used to control things, which I think for me brought a lot of comfort. So I'm like flailing in discomfort, thinking like, man, I can't even plan the next couple hours. I got to take it moment by moment. But it's something I really had to get used to and let it be my new normal. And it's that type of discomfort has really stretched me in the best way, where I feel very agile now. If something happens, we take a deep breath, we honor that what's happening is probably normal and that it's temporary, and we shift, we make a new choice, we change directions. Like it's just something that I didn't expect the discomfort to give me, but it's actually stretched me in the best of ways. So while it's happening, I'm like, what the fuck, to be honest. And then in the wake of it, I'm like, wow, girl, okay, this is something new that you know you're able to do. When I think about pregnancy prep, there's already so much to hold, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of it. And honestly, I don't want supplements to be another thing I'm stressing about. That's why in my first pregnancy, I really trusted Ritual. Their essential prenatal feels very intentional and well thought out, from the ingredients to how it's designed. And I like knowing it's clinically backed and made with traceable ingredients like choline, folate, and omega-3 without unnecessary extras. I've also really appreciated the experience of taking it. It's hard to take pills in pregnancy, especially in that first trimester. The capsule's designed to be gentle, and it's one of the few prenatals I've tried that feels easy to incorporate into my routine, especially during those sensitive seasons. It has like a citrus essence that really makes it easy to take. And Ritual focuses on bioavailable nutrients and thoughtful delivery, including a delayed release capsule designed to dissolve in small intestines. That attention to detail really matters to me and I appreciate. So don't settle for less than evidence-based support. Save 25% off your first month at ritual.com/almost30. That's ritual.com/almost30 for 25% off your first month. Okay, can we talk about aging for a second? You know, I love to talk about this. I feel like in your 30s and 40s, you start noticing little things. Sleep isn't as deep, or energy isn't as consistent, maybe just some changes in your physical appearance, and you're like, wait, is this just how it goes right now? Healthy aging is something I care deeply, deeply about. I think ever since becoming a parent, I'm like, I want to feel as good as possible for as long as possible. And I've spent a lot of time trying to get ahead of it instead of reacting to it. That's why I am so excited about C15 from Fatty 15. It's the first emerging essential fatty acid to be discovered in more than 90 years. It was actually discovered by co-founder Dr. Stephanie Van Watson while working with the U.S. Navy to improve the health of older dolphins. That's right, dolphins, which is really incredible. Based on over 100 studies, we now know that C15 strengthens our cells and helps slow aging at the cellular level. This is what I'm interested in. Let's get to the cellular level of everything. When our cells don't have enough C15, they can become fragile and age faster, and as many as 1 in 3 people may have lower levels. So I've been taking Fatty 15 consistently, and I love that it feels like I'm supporting my long-term health in a foundational way. It's vegan-friendly, 100% pure C15, and even comes in a gorgeous reusable glass jar. Fatty 15 is on a mission to optimize your C15 levels to help support your long-term health and wellness, especially as you age. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/almost30 and using the code almost30 at checkout. Again, that's fatty15.com/almost30. Use the code almost30 at checkout. One of my favorite thought leaders in this space is Erica Commissar. She wrote the book Being There. It's basically about the importance of being there and present in the first 3 years of your child's life. But she talks a lot about how attachment requires presence, and presence isn't always comfortable. Sometimes it's literally just sitting with your kid while they cry and not fixing it and not having to do something. And that, I've learned, takes a lot of stamina. I think my brain is used to doing the most. It's like, okay, let's Google something. Let's talk about something. Let's call our friends. Let's talk, and let's do the steps to fix the problem. And it is so not that most of the time. Most of the time, it is being present for what is and not doing much. And just knowing that your presence, your love, your comfort, and your ability to be there for your child is actually what is needed. It's honestly like emotional CrossFit. I am like emotional Hydrox over here. Any Hydrox fans? I'm not, but like, I'm not, but whatever. That came to mind. But weirdly, it does 100% make you stronger. So I just want to say that if you are in the early years of parenthood and you're feeling like, man, I haven't had fun in a while. I haven't felt just chill and comfortable in a really long time. Abso-freaking-lutely correct. There is a next level of being a human being that parenthood pushes you into that will just, make you the most uncomfortable I think I've ever been. And now I'm feeling into, wow, I'm in a new place because I was able to be in that discomfort. For a long time before becoming a parent, I was comfortable. I was on my schedule. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was like sleeping as long as I wanted to sleep. I was like designing my day, like I was prioritizing things that I wanted to prioritize. And it just changes. And I think I am a different but better person. I am stronger. I have more capacity. I am more confident. I am more agile. So just know that the discomfort has the power to give you all of those things and more. And it will pass. These first years are uncomfortable for the most part. And they will bring you a level and a depth of joy that you have not experienced in your life thus far. A friend of mine said to me, my friend Carly, we were catching up last time I was in LA, and she said, someone told me that parenthood, you're not going to have a lot of fun, especially in those early years. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun to chase after your kid at a restaurant, right? It's not really fun to like fold their little laundry when you just want to sleep. But you will experience a kind of joy that is just so unique and so profound. And not a lot of people will experience that, like people who don't become parents. It's just a very specific type of joy. Not saying it's better or worse than others, but like it's just very specific. So I thought that was pretty profound because I was like, yeah, a lot of this isn't like, I would say fun, but there's like a deep, purposeful and profound experience in it that I would call a lot of the times joy. Okay, let's go to number 2. The second thing that I wish that I would have known before becoming a parent, your relationship will change. Even if you do everything right, even if you you say you're going to center your marriage before you have the kid. I remember literally specifically Sean and I saying, we will put our marriage first. We come first because the health of our marriage affects the health of our child, the experience that our child is having in the day-to-day, their emotional health, their mental health, everything. Yeah. I haven't been as consistent as I intended to. Okay, so let's talk partnership because I was pretty confident that we were going to crush this. I really was. I really believed like we were so solid. We communicate, we prioritize each other. We got this. And then Mav comes and we were like, okay, I still felt supported. I felt the love. I felt connection deeply. And you just look at your partner differently when they become a parent. It's like the sweetest, most joyful thing. But I obviously, as the primary parent, mother, birthing parent, had this primal focus on my child, and that just is. And that is normal, and that is necessary. This child cannot live without me. I am feeding the child. I am caring for the child. I am comforting the child. I am like all the things. I'm keeping them safe. Not that Sean's not doing some of those things, but like you get what I'm saying. And so this kind of builds up over time. And I wouldn't say that we were in the dumps at any point or like, oh, fuck, but we just had points throughout the last 2.5 years where it would come to a little bit of a head where he's feeling, understandably so, like, I'm not a priority. And that's like partly true and also partly me not having the bandwidth or the energy or focus to prioritize him in new ways, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to be honest about that because I think it's really important. So yeah, like I wouldn't say we became roommates running a small startup, you know what I mean? But like a lot of things became logistics and kind of planning around the baby. You know, who's doing bedtime? Did you order wipes? Can you heat the bottle? Did he poop today? Like all of that. So like what was like romance and like connection all the time turned into kind of like operating a household very fast. And like I said, it's not about the love disappearing. It was just about my bandwidth disappearing. You know, you're tired. Your hormones are all over the place. I didn't find myself like initiating sex like I used to, or like, you know, just kind of being in that flow like I used to, like he's used to. So there's actually research from the Gottmans, a popular research institute, that most couples experience a dip in relationship satisfaction after a baby. Normal. It made me feel so much better because I thought it was like we were doing something wrong. So if you're feeling like, oh gosh, we're, you know, one of those couples and we're never going to get back. No, it's normal. Like if we look at what's happening and the facts, like it's normal. And it's actually very challenging to prioritize your marriage in that first year. Okay. What helped us more than anything isn't the grand date nights in the beginning. Yes, we tried to thread those in, like that was, you know, something we wanted to start doing, but it was more compassion from both of us. Like, hey, we're both fried. We're on the same team. You know, him understanding kind of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, kind of the physical demand, the emotional demand, my hormones going all over the place, feeling like a different person, my identity shifts, and him also feeling like he's deprioritized, feeling like, wow, I'm a dad now. What does that mean to him based on his history growing up? And like, there's just so many factors in this equation. It's very complex. So bringing compassion into the room via having conversations that are very honest, very forthright, very loving was so helpful. It's like, it's less sexy, but more deep, you know? So I highly recommend if you're in the early throes of parenthood and you just feel disconnected from your partner, I would say, I mean, I could go on and on about what we can do. But I would say first and foremost, bring compassion into the room, bring it to the conversation, you know, sharing with each other how you've been feeling, sharing no you statements like you never do this, you never do this. I've been feeling deprioritized. You know, I can imagine like with your focus being the baby now, like that is real and that is true, but I just have been feeling deprioritized. It's hard for me because like I just miss the days when. And in those conversations, it's actually cool because I think you're going to relate on a lot of things. You know, I remember having a conversation with my husband where I took a deep breath because we both literally said, like, I kind of at times miss our old life. We would never take it back, but like there are moments where we're like, oh man, I wish we could just be spontaneous right now and go do whatever, you know? So that is my first line of defense when you are in the thick of it and your partnership just feels disconnected. Number 3, let's get to it. I wish someone told me that you don't go back to your old life. I don't know. I knew I was going to be changed when I became a parent, but I thought that after a certain amount of months, I would go back to my workflow like I used to. Like I would go back to feeling good in my body the way I used to, feel the same in my body. That I would be able to like have the relationship with Sean like I used to. Just all the things go back to normal after a certain period of time. And it took me a while to accept that this is absolutely not true, like at all. And I think this is where a lot of women especially get tripped up, and maybe partners too, you know? I have a lot of compassion for myself during that time, because I think there was a part of me that was fighting the fact that I had changed. You know, I was like, I kept waiting to feel normal again. Okay, when does life go back to what it was? When do I feel like my old self? And I was judgmental and I was like fighting it. And then I had this moment where I was like, oh my God, it doesn't. I think it was in therapy, to be honest. There's no going back. That version of me is done. I never realized how many harmful chemicals were hiding in my old nonstick pans. Teflon, PFAS, all that stuff that can leach into your food and home. That's why I've been loving Our Place. Their cookware is toxin-free, high performance, and honestly very beautiful. The 4-piece cookware set is such a game changer. I love it so much. I even display it on top of my stovetop because it's just so pretty. It comes with 2 always pans and 2 perfect pots, which are coming in different sizes. It's great. They replace a whole pile of bulky cookware, letting you saute and sear, fry, roast, boil, basically everything, all in just 4 pieces. And I wanted to mention the Wonder Oven. It's an air fryer and toaster oven in one. It's sold out 8 times for a reason. Cooking at home feels simpler, safer, and actually enjoyable. Stop cooking with toxic cookware and upgrade to Our Place today. I'm excited for you guys. Visit FromOurPlace.com/almost30 and use the code almost30 for 10% off site-wide. With a 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping, and returns, you can try it completely worry-free. You know how in your 20s, your body starts slowing down in ways you don't notice at first? Definitely started for me in like my late 20s, maybe your late 30s. Your joints feel a little stiffer, skin less plump, energy dips. Yeah, okay, that's when I started paying attention to collagen. Paleo Valley's bone broth protein is made from 100% grass-fed, grass-finished beef bones, slow simmered from small-scale regenerative farms. They do it right. It is packed with collagen to support skin, hair, nails, gut health, and joints. Plus, it's clean. It can be unflavored if you want the unflavored, and gently processed with no chemicals at all or additives. I love adding it to coffee, to smoothies, or just hot water like I do with my chocolate. It tastes like a creamy chocolate or vanilla milkshake without the sugar. It's so good. It's basically all the benefits of slow simmered bone broth in 30 seconds, giving you 13 to 15 grams of protein per serving to help you stay fuller and support metabolism. You can head to paleovalley.com/almost30 or use the code A30 at checkout for 15% off your first purchase. Again, my favorite is the chocolate bone broth protein. I will make sure to put this with hot water. Sometimes I'll add like a little dash of milk. It is so delicious. I'm telling everyone about it. Again, that's paleovalley.com/almost30. The code is A30, A30 at checkout for 15% off your purchase. So I want to bring into the room this term that really hit this home for me. It's called matrescence. Matrescence. I'm saying it very fancily, which is like adolescence, but for becoming a mom. Your brain changes, your identity changes, everything shifts. So if you are a new mom and you're feeling like, who even am I? That's actually the process. That's the process that you're in. It is so beautiful and so alarming at times and shocking. And I wish someone told me that it was okay to grieve your old life a little bit. You can miss your freedom and love your kid at the same time. It is totally okay. Both are true. So I've had to really embrace and become confident in who I am becoming, who I've become on the other side of becoming a parent, of the unknown. I've had to be okay with the unknown because there's so much of like my going forward that is unknown to me. There's some things that I know, but there's so much that I don't know, and I have to be okay with that. All right, let's move on to number 4 of what I wish I knew before becoming a parent. Oh, priorities. Your priorities get ruthlessly edited after becoming a parent. Okay, this one's kind of funny. The things I used to think were a big deal, just aren't anymore at all. Like I used to care so much about, saying yes to everything, keeping up with everything, and making sure I was on my routines and getting my meditation in and my workout in every day, and, make sure I was journaling and Now I'm like, how did I sleep last night? Wait, did I have breakfast? Okay. How's Sean? Are we connected? Cool, that's enough. Sometimes it's the basics that I have to tick off. And I think for me, motherhood, in a really weird way, motherhood is so complex, but it has simplified so much for me. It's like life gets distilled a bit. The world got smaller, but way deeper. And I have this internal filtration system now that is so strong. And I know what's a yes and what's a no almost immediately. And if I don't in the moment, I'll give myself a day to kind of let my emotions come down and settle and just really feel the truth. I feel like I can kind of see through some of what I used to think was important as like ego-based priorities. Not bad, but just not what I want to prioritize in this season of my life. So that 2-hour morning routine I keep referencing, yeah, sure, it was nice to meditate and chant and journal and have a nourishing breakfast and have a beverage and have my music on and move my body. So nice. Would love it every once in a while. But I also understand that I can feel good in my body and in my mind and in my heart with a fraction of that. And also with different things. I was playing with my son this morning. We were playing Magna Tiles, and then he's getting a big boy bed tonight. So we were undoing the crib and like pulling the crib out of his room. He was helping me. And I was like, this is exactly what I want to be doing right now. And this is so fun and so sweet and like very emotional because it was the last night he slept in his crib. And I don't know, even though I would love to be able to work out every day, right? I would love to be able to prioritize that every day. It's just not the time, right? And I think that's also a hard truth that I'll slip in. It's like, I realized how wonderfully selfish I was before becoming a mom. I'm glad I got it in. I'm glad I got years of that in. And now it's just not the time for that. I'll revisit. After the kids go out of the house, maybe not fully, but like I will revisit those things that feel very, very, very self-serving in a great way. But right now I can just get it sporadically and I have to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. I think as long as I am at a very base, strong level, taking care of my health, my mental health, my emotional health, my relationships, and making sure I'm present for my child, I do feel good now, So I don't have to be doing the most anymore. Okay. Number 5, what I wish I knew before becoming a parent, presence matters way more than doing it right. Y'all, I'm a Virgo, and the truth is that I really wanted to get this first round of being a parent right, And if you asked me that in my early days of parenthood, I'd be like, no, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think there's a subconscious part of me that's like, no, I want to do this to the best of my ability and like try to do this perfectly. I really thought I had to optimize parenting. Like I needed the perfect toys and perfect schedule and perfect foods and like, yeah, just do it perfectly. And it's just not true. Meanwhile, the moments Mav cares most about are literally me sitting on the floor playing trucks with him, or like when he was a baby staring into his eyes and just like being a calming presence, allowing him to regulate with me. Like those are the moments that are most important and most precious and what our children will remember. They're not going to remember that you use a stainless steel bowl instead of a plastic bowl. Always choose stainless steel, or I use a little silicone or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to do it perfect. That's it. All the extra stuff, that's for me, not him. So attachment research is so clear that what kids actually need is emotional availability. That's eye contact, responsiveness, repair when you mess up, which I've been doing recently. I have a 2.5-year-old, and there will be moments that I lose my cool a little bit. And I feel instant shame and guilt. And instead of just kind of wallowing in that and not saying anything, I will apologize. So it's these moments that are really showing your emotional availability to your child that are so important. It's not the Pinterest board with all the right toys and the things you're going to do to help his development. No. It is not about perfection. It was such a relief for me to learn that. And I know you won't fully get that until you are actually in it. But I hope you kind of clock that, put it in the back of your mind if you're someone who wants to become a parent, because you don't need all the things. You don't need to do it perfectly. All right. Number 6, it can feel lonely. Even though you're never alone. Like, I don't know if I've been alone that much in these first 2.5 years. And it surprised me. I'm someone who's like very okay with being by myself. Very, very, very okay with being by myself. But this is different. I was with like this tiny human all day, and still there was like a slight loneliness. And I think it was in part because, maybe I didn't talk to an adult all day. My husband went back to work after 2 weeks. Didn't talk to an adult all day, or maybe I was feeling disconnected from my new self. Like I hadn't really connected with her yet. I did feel, even though there was like so much love and support in the house between me and my husband, like we were kind of reorienting to each other in this new season. And so there was kind of like this, call it disconnection at times, that made me feel lonely. And I'm sure he felt that as well. Missing my old friends, but also feeling like they don't get it. Feeling lonely, and no one talked to me about that. No one told me that it would feel lonely like this. And then I realized we're not meant to parent like this. We're really meant to have the village. And I think what's been one of the greatest gifts is really curating that village around me, meeting new mom friends, reconnecting with friends that I've had throughout my life that are now parents. And it doesn't mean that I put all of my friends who don't have kids to the wayside at all. It's more so that I know that I will have my friends who get it close by, that I can text or call or get together with. You need each other. I'm telling you, you need each other. And I know you're like, I don't want to become the person that only hangs out with other moms. Okay, that's fine. But it is helpful. I promise you, because there is a time in early parenthood, and I think I'm still in it, where like, it's the majority of what I'm thinking about is being a mom and thinking about my kid and da-da-da. And I like it. I don't mind it. And it's really nice to be with other people who are also experiencing that, where you can kiki on all the things. We need each other. That is why I started New Mom on the Block. I have a YouTube channel that I have a bunch of content up there. I haven't updated it in a while, but it just lives there for you. If you're a new mom, check out that YouTube channel. There's a ton of videos on there that hopefully are helpful in this first year. And now I have my Substack Momplex, which is just really like my musings on motherhood and parenthood and marriage and, relationship with yourself, like all the things. And I hope that's supportive just, yeah, as we move through this. So if you ever feel lonely in early motherhood, it is not you. It's really the structure of modern life. I think we are this is really what modern life is right now, where, there's so much in between us and other people. There's technology, there's social media. We have to get together in person and at the very least have direct connection through text, calling, FaceTiming. Like, we need that. We need that as mothers. So I know it's hard because you're tired and it's hard to meet friends as an adult, but I promise you that actually the motherhood community, wherever you are, is strong and they are fantastic. I literally dip into my neighborhood mom groups on a daily basis. We have like WhatsApp groups or whatever. I'm like, yo, moms are crazy. Like, it just snowed here the other day. And literally this one mom she's like, okay, I'm going to call this one New York senator with the specific streets that are blocked with snow so we can get them snow plowed. Can every mom send me like the street corners that you feel are dangerous or whatever? Literally, we had a whole list. We had a whole list of the cross streets and everything by like 9 a.m. It was insane. And then meanwhile, someone's like, hey, does anyone have like a 2022 Bugaboo converter kit for the stroller with a blah, blah, blah? And another mom's like, yeah, got you. I'll be over in 5. It's crazy. Like, mom groups got you. So join them, find them, seek them out, start your own. It is essential. Okay, let's keep it moving. We're almost there. Okay, this one I was like, I'm like, yes, I understand this. But then when you're in it, you're like, what? Number 7, your kid will heal parts of you. Oh my gosh. No one told me this specifically. I kind of just was like, yeah, my kid is going to heal parts of me. My husband's going to heal parts of me. But he changed me emotionally, how gentle I am, how patient I can be, how soft I can be. I didn't know that, and that perfectionist side of me was a little hard and was a little guarded. And, I don't know. It was just, it's been really beautiful. And I think, of course, like the way I'm choosing to parent, I had wonderful parents, but like, there are just like little things where I'm like, oh, I get to make that new choice. Like, have it be a little bit different in my marriage so that it affects my child rather than what I saw growing up. Whatever it was, like, it's been a masterclass and just like, wow, this is how we heal our lineage. And it's amazing. And Mav is the perfect little soul to help Sean and I do this. It's like parenting him is reparenting me a little bit. And, I thought I was raising him, and I am, but he is also raising me too. He's expanding me. Oh, he's teaching me so much, especially about patience lately. I should do a whole toddler episode. Okay. Yeah, lots about patience and reactivity, all the things, nervous system work. But okay, let's close this out. I just wish someone sat me down and told me some of these things, you know what I mean? But that's why I'm here. And yeah, I'm grateful to you all, whether you want to become a parent, maybe you're a parent now in early parenthood. If you're in the thick of it right now, I feel you. And if you're just feeling like, why is this so hard? And why is this the best thing ever at the same time? And I must be crazy for feeling that. No, you're not. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not weird. It's just like the most massive transformation of life. No one really talks about how big it is. I think it happens so fast and you're in it and you don't have time to really process it, but it changes you on every level. In the best way, but it's hard, It's messier, softer, stronger. Oh, it's like everything. And honestly, at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't. But I think if we are a bit more honest with ourselves about the truth of what parenthood really is, especially in these early years, we won't feel so crazy. We won't feel so judgmental. We won't feel so out of control, you know? I wanted to end with this clip from an interview that Erica Commissar did with Stephen from Diary of the CEO.
I'm going to say it right now so everybody can hear it who's watching this. Having children is stressful. It is frustrating. It does require that you are sleepless for the first 5 years. It requires that you can tolerate a lot of discomfort and frustration. So if there was a job description, first it would say the most joyful, enriching thing you can do in your entire life. But what comes with that to foster healthy development is frustration, lack of sleep, stress, discomfort. And so that should be part of the job description.
Yeah, she said it. Said it perfectly. It's both. It's both. With that comes the discomfort, comes the frustration. I think people sign up for parenthood and they're like, oh my God, it's going to be so amazing and so cool and so blah, blah. Yes. And let's also be realistic about what it also is. I think I would have been a less, I don't know, I was just a little anxious. I was a little, I was uncomfortable. I was like, oh God, I'm not handling this well, but it's very normal, you know? Okay, I will leave you there. I love you all so much. I'm here for you. If you have any questions, if you want to chat about any topic, anything, especially related to parenthood, I would love to chat. You can subscribe to Momplex, my Substack. I would really appreciate it. Share it with any friends. We're ramping up there. We have some really great content coming. And you can also check out my YouTube that just lives there for any new moms. It's called New Mom on the Block. We have a bunch of content up there. And then thank you for subscribing to Almost 30. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do. We have 2 episodes out every week, which is insane. We've done that for 10 years. And I'm just so proud of it. And if you haven't checked out our new book, Almost 30, A Definitive Guide to a Life You Love for the Next Decade and Beyond, it is on sale now. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Target and everywhere books are sold. I recently saw it in Singapore. Someone sent me a picture, which is so cool. So get it for yourself, get it for a friend. This is for anyone moving through change and transformation. We appreciate your support there. Love you all. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.